Maybe you guys have had the experience of being completely lost and truly hopeless to the point where you decided to completely give up on your life. And I know that I've been in this dark place and I'm working on finding a way out of it. But for years I had completely collapsed into hopelessness and I had completely given up on my life. Recently, I read an article about a 28-year-old woman who elected for elective unaliving by a doctor, and it was granted, and she's no longer here. And I think the reason she chose that was because her psychiatrist said that there was no more hope for her life and that they had tried everything. And she had reached a point of complete hopelessness to where she asked the doctor in her country to assist her in ending her own existence, and they did. It was approved. And I almost guarantee you that this young lady probably struggled with bullying as a young girl. That's something that I dealt with quite a bit, and I hate to say it, but the bullying that I experienced when I was young still affects me today. And everyone would always say, you know, Shelby, they're just jealous of you. Well, I would remember saying, jealous of what? What are they jealous of? And no one would ever tell me what that was. Like, why would they be so jealous of me? And when I had such low self-esteem, I couldn't see anything that they would want to be jealous of. And I hate to say it, but their words impacted me at that time when I was going through these developmental years. And I tried as hard as I could to not care and to ignore it, but bit by bit they stripped down my self-esteem and my will to continue on. And what were they jealous of? Perhaps my artwork. I was doing a lot of drawing at school, and a lot of people would interrupt me and make fun of my artwork and steal my sketchbook and stuff like that. And I think all of this escalated to the point where, in addition to having a rough relationship with my dad, and eventually he ended up passing away when I was 17, all this grief, you know, the grief of losing my dad, the grief of, you know, being bullied from these jealous, mean girls, it all accumulated into a mid-20s life crisis that I went through. And you guys know that I'm 32 now. I made it to about 25 before I had a complete mental breakdown, and I really haven't recovered from that since then. In the meantime, I've been hospitalized in a psychiatric hospital about 5 times, and it's not really a place that's a healing environment, let's put it like that. Being in a psych ward is not a healing environment at all. And a lot of times it really feels like I don't want to feel sorry for myself, but it really does feel like you can do everything right in terms of life. You can follow the life script. And if you're not fitting into that life script, your life looks a lot like Dark Souls when everyone else is playing Sims on sandbox mode. And look, when I said I liked it rough, I didn't mean my financial situation. I didn't mean my life. Like, honestly, guys, this is so much, and I just am getting a little bit tired of it. The people who were jealous of me and bullied me succeeded because I didn't have anyone telling me otherwise. I didn't have a counterpoint of belief. I didn't have anything else, because when I came home I would be yelled at by my dad, and then I'd be yelled at by my mom, and I didn't really have anyone building me up at all. So when these people would be jealous of me, I couldn't figure out why, and it affected me very deeply because I didn't have self-esteem built in the home. I wanted so badly to be special, but the reality is that I'm very ordinary and below average in a lot of ways. I looked for that love in all the wrong places, and I'm very fortunate that I never had a bad relationship or anything like that. But one of the reasons I gave up is due to a lack of community. I don't have a community of like-minded people, and I don't know where to find it, and I'm looking for one here on YouTube, and I'm hoping we can build one together of like-minded people that are going through the same thing. But it's part of the reason I gave up. Isolation suffocated my spark. But I realize now that I quit doing my artwork at times where most people quit. Like, most people quit when things get that hard. And I was one of those people who quit when things got really hard. And consistency was so hard for me with my art because I couldn't stick with it long enough to see the results and get the validation that I wanted. I was looking for external things to give me that validation for my artwork. And I started to do it for external reasons instead of internal reasons. I had to find a reason to draw that was outside of validation and results. I think by posting here, I'll be able to see my growth, both artistically and personally, over a long-term period of time, and that's what I really look forward to. And it's honestly my spontaneous videos and spontaneous art that do the best. And honestly, guys, I had the idea for this channel 5 years ago during the pandemic, but I put it off for 5 years. And over the last month and a half, I have gained more knowledge and experience and feedback just from posting these low quality videos than I have in the last 5 years of planning and the last 5 years of researching, because I spent 5 years researching, which is crazy for a channel like this. Please. So finally I was able to break through that and just start. I did it unprepared and I did it scared. And I would like to thankfully announce that I am now monetized. Yes, guys, I am a monetized channel now. And I know my last video was celebrating 1,000 subscribers. And now I have close to 4,000 subscribers, which is crazy. So I wanted to thank everybody. If you would like to support this channel for free, just leave a comment and subscribe. You can also we can also now leave super chats, and you can also check out my Amazon affiliate link, which is not a gift list. It's not for me. My Amazon affiliate link has stuff that I think you guys might want to buy for yourselves. So if you're interested in supporting this channel, I get a commission on my Amazon. It's in the description. So there's a lot of ways I can earn money on this channel now, which is fantastic. However, let's get back to the topic of today's discussion. I would quit, and I'm a notorious chronic quitter. And quitting creates this reality that guarantees a future that I fear the most. It guarantees a lack of results. But to be honest, the fear of failure sometimes is greater than my fear of regret of not doing the thing. It could be worse, but it could also be so much better. My life is at a standstill in a lot of ways, and the stagnation is difficult because inertia is hard to break. Honestly, I feel like I should drop an EP or something if I was good at music, because I've tried everything else in the book to heal my mental health besides like just straight up dropping an album. And I mean, I'm just kidding, but honestly, I don't have any musical skills at all, but that would be pretty funny if I tried that. So everybody says that the 9 to 5 is a safe bet, right? They say that the 9 to 5 is what you're supposed to do, and working a 9 to 5 is not safe for me. How many more times does the universe have to tell me that I'm not meant to put the fries in the bag? I've been fired from so many menial jobs that it's crazy. It's time to take a chance on something new and put that energy back into my passions. I have what so few people have, and that is time. I have so much free time right now that it's actually crazy. And I know that motivation doesn't always show up, and the lack of self-belief is a problem. You have to be pulled towards what you want with pure conviction. You need a strong why. But the thing is, I don't know where to find that why. I don't know where to find that why for why I want to continue with my stuff. Like, why am I doing my art? I mean, I have a couple pretty images behind me, but I really want to go deeper into some deeper and darker subjects. I try to bring beauty into the world through my art, which is funny because most of the days I'm very depressed, but I try to bring beauty into the world because I hope that it'll have a reverse effect on my mental health. And that by bringing beautiful artwork into the world, I'll become more happy and other people will be happy too. Not chasing my dreams has yielded nothing. By putting my dreams on the back burner, I have received nothing in return for that. So what would happen if I went all in with art and YouTube and storytelling and relearning to be myself? Because I've had such a hard time being myself. I think I abandoned myself around puberty when that was 20 years ago. It feels like everyone else's turn but mine. I've watched everyone else get their flowers. I've watched everyone else grow up and get their jobs. But this is the test that I need to stick to, and I need to stick to the plan. I can't give up just because it's not my time yet. We're all on our own journey. And it's difficult to be in a situation where you're the last to bloom. I am a late bloomer in a lot of ways. And I'm hoping that I end up blooming eventually. But sometimes I wonder if I will ever do that at all. I'm worth more than the results that I'm receiving. But it's difficult to see that. While I don't know what my value is as a human being, it has to be something. I wish I could see the value in myself, and I've had a hard time seeing self-value. And I've had a hard time seeing what my worth is as a person. It's not about the numbers, and it's not about the analytics. It's about sending out my message to people that understand. For me, YouTube is more about building this community. YouTube is for me not about the money, but more about finding the people that understand me. Because that sense of community and that sense of understanding is something that I've been looking for my whole life. I want to find people that are in similar positions to me, that have similar interests, and that are interested in me. And I think this YouTube channel is allowing me to do that. I lost my identity and my pain for years, and one of the reasons I gave up is because I was diagnosed with an incurable disease. And much like that young lady who decided that she didn't want to live anymore, I decided that I didn't want to live anymore either. But I didn't end my life. I just gave up on living. I would stop eating. I started bed rotting. And there was actually a time where I moved out of my parents' house and I had to move back home because I got so ill from bed rotting that I ended up in the hospital. And that's for real. I fell into such a pattern of self-neglect that I ended up with several infections from malnutrition and from lack of hygiene. And I've bed rotted almost as far as you can go without actually ending, and I think that from that point, I'm no longer in a point where I'm bed rotting. I'm at a point where I'm eating again and trying to do my exercises and stuff. But the only way to get it right is to get it wrong first. I have learned more this month making YouTube videos than I think I've learned in the last five years completely and in total. And I can't allow my fear of rejection to be higher than my fear of regret. I can't allow hate comments to dictate my next move. I thought that I needed to wait on having expensive equipment. I thought I needed to wait on the right time, the right script, the right idea. But in the end, I just turned on my webcam and I started talking. And thousands of you responded to me, and thousands of you resonate with what I'm saying. And if you resonate with this channel, please subscribe. And because we can create a community together. There's more stuff to come. I'm thinking about sharing my art on Instagram and TikTok as well. I literally didn't think that being myself would be enough to grab anybody's attention, but here I am just being myself. I'm doing it scared and unprepared. And people are responding. People like what they're hearing. And giving up on life is a difficult thing to crawl your way out of. Because inertia is very difficult to break, because there is a comfort in pain. My pain became my entire identity. I lost myself in my pain. I lost myself in my mental health problems. I've been identifying with illness for so long that my illness has become part of my identity. And I don't want that to be me. I want my identity to be a positive one. And I was focusing so much on making something that was popular that I forgot how to be authentic. I wanted other people to accept me, and I lost myself in that process too. My haters in real life and online, I think they were afraid that if I succeeded, they would fail. And that left a lasting impact on my life. But just because one person succeeds doesn't mean you're going to fail. There's plenty of room for everyone to succeed. I have to admit that when I receive a compliment, it feels gross and wrong, and I'm trying to get better at receiving and accepting compliments in my life. And like I said before, I couldn't help but be affected by people trying to dim my light and destroy my passion. As much as I wanted to, I very much cared about what people think, and to be honest, I still do. Hateful people and life circumstances have controlled me for so long that this pain that I'm going through is just a trial. And I think that I haven't seen the pain as a trial. I've seen it as something personal. Being myself was always something that I wanted to be, but I abandoned myself for decades because of bullying and because of wanting to be accepted for something that I'm not. Instead of finding those people that resonated with me off riff, I tried to become somebody different that was accepted by the people that didn't want to accept me in the first place. And that's something I still struggle with. And now that I'm 32, it's very difficult to meet and make new friends. My spontaneous videos and my spontaneous art are the ones that do the best. The ones where I plan out a script and the ones where I overthink everything don't do as well as the ones where I'm just speaking. And I think that I had grossly misunderstood the process of gaining a skill. I thought that obstacles were optional, and that I always quit when adversity came to me. I've always quit in the face of adversity, and that's not what you're supposed to do, because adversity is going to give you the experience that you need to get to the next level. And I missed out on opportunity because I was afraid that someone would see me fail. I was so deeply insecure that one more hateful comment from someone, one more criticism from my bullies was going to be enough to make me fall into a spiral, and I don't blame myself for that. But all along in my journey, my story has always been enough to share in its own right. I just didn't see that before. With AI, there's also a demoralization that comes from being an artist. I know that we as artists value human-made work, but most people don't value human-made work anymore. And I feel like this AI thing has made me feel so demoralized as a human that I don't even know what the value of being human is at this point. Why are we here? What is the point? Is it just to make money and survive? I know life is pay to play, but honestly, it's very difficult. And it can be difficult when you see your friends getting a free Ivy League education and then all you inherited was generational trauma and Crohn's disease. I get that. I've been there. When one door closes, just open it right back up or take it off the hinges. I really don't know, because they say that when one door closes, another door opens. Not necessarily true. I wanted to go through that one specific door, so I'm going to pry it open and take it off the hinges and go through it anyway. Or so I like to think. Unfortunately for me, it takes a very real sense of panic to get anything done, and because I don't have a sense of urgency right now, it's been difficult to do stuff. It's kind of funny to me that my parents thought that I was a good kid in high school because I didn't party or sneak out, when in reality I just had no friends and I wasn't invited. I wasn't invited to sneak out. I wasn't invited to have fun in the middle of the night in the woods smoking weed. That was never me. I wanted to do those things, but I wasn't cool enough to get the invite. And I remember when everyone told me that college would be the best days of my life, and I was like, oh shit, it gets worse. And honestly, guys, it's been 10 years, and guess what? It absolutely gets worse. Not knowing what you're doing and going down a path of following the wrong major was a terrible decision. Many of you know that I studied art briefly before dropping out, and that was a bad choice for me, and I'll get into that in a later video, but that's a whole lot to unpack there. Honestly, at this point, the fact that I'm still alive is proof that I have plot armor. I might actually be the main character, because honestly, I should not be alive at this point. I've skirted death so many times it's crazy. And guys, did you know that if you wake up early, exercise, eat healthy, and socialize, you're still going to wish you didn't exist? It's not going to work. Yep. So you can do everything right, like I said, and so you're still not gonna be here one day. And I've been thinking about joining the LGBTQ community because I'm by myself. Like, I'm completely single and I'm by myself. So, like, I'm technically bisexual because I'm by myself all the time. Just kidding, guys. I used to only cry at funerals because I'm jealous, but now I'm trying to find a reason to live. And my mom said I could be anything I wanted to, so I decided that I would become a complete unemployed disappointment. I know that money doesn't buy happiness, but honestly, I'd rather be crying in a Ferrari than crying in my parents' bedroom, in my childhood bedroom. But anyway, I don't know what I'm going to do for the money issue right now. I know I mentioned that I'm monetized, but it's slow going at best with that. I honestly can't remember the last time I had a genuine win, besides this awesome thing that's happening on YouTube and getting monetized. So I really wanted to thank you guys for that monetization, because this is the first time in a very long time that I've succeeded at something. And the fact that I've gotten monetized in less than 2 months is crazy. I'm really grateful for that, and I'm so thankful that you guys are subscribing and tuning in to my channel. And it means so much. It means the world to me, and I really do enjoy you guys' comments. I know I'm not able to respond to every single one these days, but I'm so glad that you guys tuned in. I know a lot of you are feeling worthless and hopeless and that you gave up on life. But in summary, the reason I gave up on life was because of pain. I allowed the pain in my life to cripple me instead of causing me to change. And there's only so much you can do about certain levels of pain. Pain can be very difficult to live with. It demoralizes you. It takes your energy. It changes your mood. And I wish I had seen that pain was temporary. I wish that when I was going through it that I could have seen that there was a light on the other side. And although I'm no longer in chronic physical pain, I'm still in pain mentally. And I'm still struggling with learning to live my life in a way that is healthy and going to inspire wealth and wellness at this point. The truth of the matter is that no matter how hard I try not to care, I absolutely give a fuck about what people think about me. I give a fuck about my situation, and I care about pretty much everything. I think the fact that I've tried not to care was not very genuine of me. I do care that I'm unemployed. I do care that I'm in a situation where I'm not succeeding. And it really bothers me. It bothers me that I'm not successful. And I'd be lying to say that I didn't feel that way. It's difficult to be in a situation where you want to succeed and you have that potential, but you don't have that guidance and you don't have that mentorship. Most mentorship costs money, as you guys know. And I know I can't win them all, but I should be at least winning some of them. It's just hard to be in a state of chronic loss. Maybe it's just bad luck. But I really don't know about that. Some people say that they ask me what my 5-year plan is when I go on a date, and I'm just like, planning for the future requires the privilege of stability. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. I don't really have this privilege of stability in my life where I can predict with certainty a 5-year plan. I really don't even plan for my day. So the 5-year plan, where do I see myself in 5 years, is such a crazy question, because it's kind of insinuates that I have some sort of privilege that I don't actually have. And I really don't plan for the future anymore. I just try to roll with the punches and take it one day at a time. Maybe that's not the best strategy, but I really don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Going from a feeling of worthlessness and total loss to trying to find purpose again is where I'm at right now. And I wish I had a solution to offer you guys about what to do with your lives and how to get out of giving up on your life. But I gave up for so long that I don't know how to start again. And I'm trying to find a way to begin again. And bring every day into its full potential. We all go through tough times, but sometimes it feels like I'm literally drowning in my past. And my past is defining me at this point. I'm living in my past. And I want to live for a future, but it's very hard for me to imagine a bright future. And maybe it's just pattern recognition because I've been through so much, but I know 32 is young. And maybe I just need more time to have perspective on this era of my life. But I just wanted you guys to know that you're not alone. And that I really am so grateful that you guys watched all the way to the end, for the 10% of you that are still watching. And I also wanted to say, check out the description, my Amazon affiliate links. Click all the things. You don't have to buy anything, even if you just click on it. That would be really supportive. And if you want to support this channel, subscribe, share, comment. Those are free. I love hearing from you guys, and if you want to leave a super chat, that would be insane. You don't have to do that though, but that would be absolutely insane if you thought about that and did that. I think channel memberships might be coming up soon. I might start live streaming soon. We'll see how that goes, guys. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you for watching, and I appreciate you guys. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.